Hello and welcome to the first episode of KK's podcast. Before we get into today's topic, I would like for everyone to like, comment, and subscribe. And please share this video with all of your friends, family, and anyone else you may see fit. So today's topic is gonna be Vivica Fox and 50 Cent. All right. So Vivica was on a panel recently, and she's a loving, giving, and caring woman. I'm gonna say that very lightly. So she decided, one of the young ladies at the panel decided to ask a question, and Vivica Fox answered. Her response was, "Don't date rappers and don't date anyone like 50 Cent." Here's my problem. Why are we still talking about 50 Cent? Why? It's been 22 years since y'all been together, and this man is still in your mind, in your heart, in your soul, in your body. Let me know you're bitter or angry without letting me know that you're bitter or angry. Let me know. Please let me know. I don't understand. So let's get into a little bit of backstory with this. Let's get into a little bit of backstory. That's what we're going to do. So they met back in 2003 at a BET Awards. And then they dated for about 4 months and the relationship ended. So it started in 2003, ended in 2003. Now, I don't know how much healing that you have to do in order for a 4-month relationship, but honestly, it shouldn't take no 22 years. Ma'am, this man is happily married and has moved on with his life. It is time for you to do the same. Then she proceeded to say, "It took me a long time to laugh about this situation." Now, I understand that because they are exes, of course, there are going to be playful banter or any other type of banter between them. But the truth is, I'm going to just be honest with you. I don't simply think that this is playful banter. Now, a lot of the resources that I've seen has stated that, it was playful banter. I don't think that it is. I'm just stating my opinion. If you don't like it, that's on you. But I see a angry, bitter black woman is what I see. She's still upset at the fact that their relationship didn't work. She's upset at how successful he has become and how far his career has come, and she was not able to reap the benefits out of it. The sad part about it is that it's 22 years later and you're still bringing this man up. Okay? My other problem is that a lot of women, especially black women, get to these panels and ask other black women these types of questions. And here's the thing. Y'all are asking the right questions to the wrong people. Why would you ask this young woman, Vivica Fox, that type of question? Why? Because she's still single. Has never been married. She has no kids. And she decided that she wanted to settle down in her 50s. Ma'am, nobody is checking for you in your 50s. Now, it's not saying you can't get a man in your 50s, but your qualifications to get a man in your 50s has considerably dropped. You have no room to be picky here. Now, he did respond and say, "Now, I love me some you. But come on, it's been 22 years later. And we're still having these conversations. We're still bringing each other up. We're still talking about this." Now, mind you, this man has moved on with his life. Again, he's married. He's happily married, highly successful. The last thing on his mind is thinking about you. But for some reason, you are still hung up on your relationship with 50 Cent. And your response to that question should not have been, "Oh, don't date rappers," or don't date people like 50 Cent. From my understanding, your relationship was pretty much okay. Y'all didn't really end on any bad terms. I'm just being honest. And this is out of your mouth. You said yourself that y'all did not end on bad terms. You said yourself that, you felt like y'all went public too soon, which that is very much so possible that y'all could have went public very much too soon. And y'all had everybody in your relationship, which is what happens when you have a public relationship sometimes. When you have a lot of people in your relationship telling you what you should and should not be doing, it can cause a lot of friction between you two, which is probably why your relationship ended. But constantly bringing it back up 22 years later, just because of the simple fact that somebody asked you a question, that lets me know that you look for every single reason to bring this man up. That lets me know you sit around every single day thinking about this man. That lets me know that you are simply just being bitter, angry, and miserable at home because this man left you, and the things that you wanted him to do for you, he's doing for somebody else. Ladies, let this be a perfectly good example for you of what not to do. Literally, of what not to do. Don't be her. Don't do this. If you want advice on how to get a man, keep a man, or anything of that nature, or even become a wife, you need to go to other women who have been married for 20 plus years. You need to go ask a man what are the requirements that you need to have in order to become a wife. You need to sit down with a pen and a notebook and ask these two types of people those types of questions. Because our grandparents, yes, they may have dealt with a lot. Our grandparents put up with a lot because that's all they had to deal with. Now, in today's society, we don't necessarily have to put up with a lot, but at the same time, we do to a certain degree. Now, the only reason why we have to put up with the things that we have to put up with today is because we're sitting here and we're not healing from past relationships. We're not healing from all the things we've ever dealt with from our childhood and, just past traumas in general. So here you have a woman that has never healed from her relationship with 50 Cent and spent the rest of her life bitter, angry, and single. Okay? Bitter, angry, and single. And this is why she gave the response that she gave. This is why she put herself out there on this panel and quote unquote, maybe cracked a joke. You know what I'm saying? And to be honest with you, this is not a joke. I tell people this all the time. Every joke has a little bit of truth in it. She was telling her truth on that panel. When the lady asked her that question, all she literally had to say is that be careful who you date, make sure the guy that you're dating is a good guy. Make sure he actually wants to be in a relationship with you and only you. Date for marriage. Don't date just for fun. Don't date because of da-da-da-da-da. Make sure when you're dating that you're dating because you're looking for something. But also, too, she should have told her, heal yourself. Heal from past relationships. Heal from past trauma. Heal from all the things that can hinder you and block you from reaching the potential husband that God may have for you. And I'm going to be honest, Vivica Fox is not the type of woman that you need to be taking advice from. She is not the type of woman that you should be going and asking these types of questions to. She is the woman you avoid. You avoid this. You avoid this type of woman when you need to ask those type of questions. The type of people, let me give y'all two people that y'all should ask those type of questions to. You should ask those type of questions to people that's been married for 10, 15, 20 years. Okay? I'm talking about a loving, caring couple. I'm talking about a couple that that been riding, dying for each other for a very long time. She submitted to him. He submitted to her. They made their vow. They've never lied to each other, never stepped out on each other. They've stayed committed to each other the entire time. I'm talking about she held her end of the deal. He held his end of the deal. I'm talking about the type of relationship that if you try to come in between them, you got to deal with the both of them. I'm talking about a love so tight that is unforgivable. It's unbearable. People get sick of being around it. That's the type of love that I'm telling you that you should literally be around. That's the type of people that you need to go to and ask those type of questions to. She is not that person. She is not that person. And to the people that were clapping and laughing, this is not funny. This lady was honestly screaming for help. She's been screaming for help for 22 years. She's been looking for a healing in a relationship. She's been looking for a closure in a relationship that does not exist anymore. Their relationship started and ended in 2003. I say again, their relationship started and ended in 2003. What more could she possibly want from this man? Even like I told you before, he came out and said that 22 years. 22 years. And I'm going to keep saying 22 years because that is the significant part of this story of how angry, how bitter, how lonely, how single, how miserable Vivica Fox is. This man is not thinking about her. This man is happily married with a career. Everything that she wanted from him, he gave to another woman. So now she's sitting back thinking about all the things that shoulda, woulda, coulda been. So to the young lady that asked that type of question, this video is for you. Go ask a real woman, not a woman trying to be a woman. Not a woman trying to make herself feel better by cracking a joke. You asked a serious question and you wanted a serious answer. And she gave you that type of answer. And I guarantee you walked away with no confidence in that answer whatsoever. Because why would you even answer the question like that? 9 times out of 10, you are an average, everyday black woman. The last thing on your mind is probably dating a rapper. I hope that if you are looking for a real relationship, you're looking for a real man. A real, true, genuine man. A man that's not only going to love, provide, and protect and care for you, but a man that's going to have that level of dominance of where you're going to respect him. You're going to honor him. You're going to want to submit to him. And the problem with Vivica is the fact that I'm going to tell you, she is not a woman of submission. She is not a woman of submission. She came out of her own mouth years ago and said when she was in her younger years, she was thinking about, she chased her career. She didn't want kids. She didn't want this. She didn't want that. And now she's in her 50s saying, I want a husband. Baby, it's too late. The time for you to get a husband was back in your mid to early 30s. You know, once you got to a certain point of your career, you could have said, okay, now I'm at this point. Now let me go look for a husband. You know, matter of fact, she could have even built her career even while she was she could have built her career and looked for a husband at the same time. But that's the problem. Black women feel like they have to choose. And it's not just black women. A lot of women feel like they have to choose. You don't have to choose between a man and your career. You can have it all. You can have both. A man will never tell you that you couldn't have your career. Most men would honestly want their woman to have some type of life outside of them and have a career. You're just making a stipulation that you can't have it. But you can. So, young lady, I'm telling you out of the mouth of a babe, you can have your career and you can have your husband. Do not follow in the footsteps of Vivica Fox. And to Vivica Fox, I love you to death. I rock with you the long way. You know, as far as in your career, you are a great and wonderful actress. But as a woman, you are not an example. You are not setting a good example for the black woman coming up behind you. You're not. And I'm sorry for that. I'm so sorry for you for that. Like, because this is sad. This is sad. You should be a example of the young women that are coming up behind you, especially to these young black girls. Y'all are always talking about how the women dress today and how they don't have no respect for themselves and how this and how that. But mind you, you're not setting a good example either. Coming off with this masculine ass personality. You know what I'm saying? Holding on to a man that ain't holding on to you. Loving a man that ain't gonna never love you back. He has moved on and gotten better things in life. You could have literally done the exact same thing. But you know what you did, Vivica? You continue to chase your career. You continue to go down the path that you're going. And now that you've gotten your success and you got your money, you got your house, you got your cars, you got your vacation, townhomes, and all of this stuff. Now you got all of this stuff and no one to share it with. And you're miserable because you have to go to bed alone at night, cuddle up with a pillow. Do me a favor and go cry in the car. Do me a favor and go cry in the car because you made this life choice. And constantly bringing up this man 22 years later is just not going to benefit you in any type of way. I hope that this video educates a lot of women that you need to heal from past relationships. You need to heal from childhood trauma. Don't go looking around searching for a man knowing dang on well you got all these issues going on with you, trying to get married. All you're going to do is drag that into your marriage and make that man dislike you for various amounts of reasoning. Seriously. I just don't get it and I don't understand it. So with that being said, I hope you guys like this video. Please subscribe. Please share with your friends and family and whoever you so well choose. And I love y'all.